this magical world, heroes are praised. But what defines a true hero?
Nobody cares! This is where things get interesting. So sit down and enjoy the show.
Hey. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
What's going on, fellas?
Welcome to the DVC Disney Villains Club. And as you can see, once again, we cannot seem to get 4 people for the life of us here. I don't know what's going on. It seems that we're just changing. We're changing roles every week. One week it's Larry that's out. 1 week it's 4 weeks it's Gene that's out, and then maybe 1 week it's Mike that's out, and even myself. So, but anyway, we got 3. We're good. Mike's not here. He is handling family stuff. So hope he's having fun with that. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, doing good. Had a good Father's Day. I hope you guys had a good Father's Day as well.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was definitely a good one.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yes, belated.
I had a great Father's Day. We were obviously in the parks over this past weekend. Anyone that's on our socials will see that. It was good. Finally got to take. Ironically, I took my dad there, who hadn't had a chance to go in long time. So it was good to get to bring him there and kind of experience things as we do. He loves roller coasters. It just had been so long that he wasn't quite sure how he was going to handle it. So we started off easy with Thunder Mountain and stuff. And then we ended up moving up to Tron at one point. So didn't tell him about the launch. That was pretty funny. The picture says 1,000 words. And it was funny because Aiden basically wanted to take him on everything. So he was like his little tour guide. So it was pretty, nice. It was funny, but it came out good. It rained like one of the days. Obviously it was hot. It's that time of year, but parks weren't really crowded at all. You had some people, but I've seen it way worse, especially for this time of year. So that was good. You guys do anything good for Father's Day or?
Just relaxed or kind of stayed around the house, went out dinner with the in-laws and stuff like that, but it was pretty chill. It's kind of a recuperating day. Just nice, chill.
Yeah, same thing. Just resting and had a little, went out for breakfast with the kids and nice little relaxing Sunday.
There you go. It wasn't relaxing for me.
Travel day.
We had driven up Thursday night, all Thursday, second half of Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and then ended the weekend at Animal Kingdom on Sunday, but pretty much got to do just about everything. I think we couldn't squeeze in the safari, which was like the last thing. So the final thing we did was Flight of Passage, and
nice.
By that time it was like 4:00. Normally we'll leave at like 12. So yeah, we got back. It was a late night. Plus, when you get home, you got the luggage, you gotta put everything away. Ugh, what a mission. So the living room looked like a mess because we were kind of like, we're just gonna not bother with that right now. So hey, I see Mikey B's in here. Thanks for coming,
Mikey B.
Hey.
Yeah, man, good to see you. Patty, you're always here, man.
Patty.
I can love to see it. So look, we got we do have our thing tonight. Well, we do have some pretty funny goofy neighbors tonight. We actually got a lot of stories. I don't even know if we'll get them all, but we'll try to go through them. And then we're going to talk about, and I know it's a little bit clickbaity when it comes to our thumbnail regarding, and as Gene started going down shorter, it was pretty funny. So I can't not see that. We have talking about the bright side and dark side of resorts. And obviously I wouldn't say it's dark, but when it comes to either hidden costs or some of the costs and stuff like that. And we've even talked about, which we'll get into it, what resorts are actual value resorts, especially when the cost comes to are they still really value resorts at that point? And, this other stuff. So I know we got a lot to say. I know we can't really talk about Boardwalk. It's one of the worst ones we got here. So
it's the best place.
No, I'm just kidding. Listen, I can't help it. I love that. But by the way, I love that resort. It's Gene's favorite resort. And I always tease him about flying fish. Anyone that watches this knows that I do that. So it's kind of funny to talk about that. Oh, I know. All right. So look, we'll get started. We got, let's see. So we'll start with Goofy Neighbors. We didn't do it. LeFou's News rant. Villain of the week. I don't know if we got a rant this week. Well, anyway, if you give me a minute, I could pretty much come up with a rant with anything. It just depends how much time we have. And then we'll do that. So we'll start with Goofy Neighbors. Let's bring up the first story here. Okay, so it's funny, and I'll bring this up now. What's funny about this is, if everybody remembers, and we talked about this last week, I think it was a guy, and obviously this isn't Disney, but this was at Busch Gardens where the guy jumped over and I think they got the video here with this. Yeah, this is where the guy jumps over the railing.
Wild Karen! Like
It's very dangerous.
surrounded here, guys. All of the Karens there's no guys. They like us around. Sneak out of here.
Yeah, so
that's what he wanted, really, right? I mean, that's all
of
he
course.
wanted.
it was really well. First of all, it's really stupid to even do that, especially considering you're literally in an alligator enclosure. But we always say, and anyone that has worked for any amount of time, policies are usually made because somebody's done something stupid. It's almost like when you get something in the mail, or not in the mail, but if you buy something in the store, let's say it's a toy for your kid or whatever, and they'll always say something on the box that'll say, do not do this, or please don't do this, or whatever. It's because somebody's done it. So, and as we said, and you could see here, and we said it, now it looks terrible, but they obviously had to put something up already, some type of barrier. Now, I know that's not going to be permanent, but they're obviously going to start, and as you can see the gates and stuff, they'll start doing more with this, but it just, every time someone does something like this, they're going to have to react to it, and then they have to change it.
Did he get arrested for that?
Yep.
You know what? I don't know. I didn't.
It's got to be some type of trespassing, no?
Oh, no. Listen, first of all, not only is arrested, that's pretty much grounds for banning. Now, I don't know if they did that. I didn't get into.
Oh, he definitely got banned because.
Oh, no, there's no question. I would think so, right? But yeah, I don't know, because a lot of times, remember, a lot of this stuff they keep hush hush, and this isn't just Disney, but a lot of the theme parks, they kind of don't want any press, so they just kind of get it to go away. Although I would think that they would really want to, if you think about it, you would think that they would want to not grandstand, but kind of put it out there like, hey, if you do this, you're going to get this, and it's kind of, instead of just keeping it hush hush, because a lot of times we do these stories, and obviously we don't have time to be digging into everything, but we don't have time to follow up on some of this stuff. So you never know what is going on. So, hey,
Sarah J in the house.
Good to see you. Yeah, definitely hit that like button. I got the banner here somewhere. I'm not even sure where it's at right now. So we're just not going to bother with it right now. I guess I'll have to go digging for it and stuff like this. Usually Mike's digging through this. I'm not sure where everything's at the moment. All right. So anyway, moving on. We're going to move to this one here, which is, this. And, we keep hearing about this. I know this was at Disneyland and this isn't just, I guess, with this character here, but we've been seeing stuff like this lately where we talked about this guest behavior where I guess there was an issue where, and it was poor Eeyore too, which is terrible because he's the most depressed character around. Apparently a father got angry with this character, and decided to obviously put hands on them. And I can't see if you're that angry at something, especially, and it depends what's going on here, because I just can't see ever wanting to put hands on a cast member, much less another park goer. And we've seen this, we've seen this stuff before, and it's just like, and again, this is going to be, banned for life type of stuff, I would imagine. Because I know they don't pursue this stuff, and obviously I don't know if they give it up or leave it up to the cast member to, I guess, press charges.
It should be assault.
It's battery,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
it's a battery. So, and again, I know they have their things worked out with Orange County and Disney and security and all that stuff and how they do things. I know they would rather just ban you instead of obviously following through with all that stuff. So, it's just kind of one of those things. I don't know. Have you guys? And we've gone to the parks for years, different parks. And I know, Larry, you guys out in California. So have you seen this type of stuff?
In person, I never have. I mean, I've heard maybe like raised voices and stuff, like people kind of getting irritated with, people, usually it's around like fireworks time, people trying to get a show, trying to move in and, get all those little tight spaces, people try and save some extra room. And then it comes time to the fireworks start and people start pressing in a little bit further. I've heard raised voices, but I've never seen actually anybody, strike anybody or push anybody or anything like that. So yeah, it's pretty crazy to me that, like you were saying, I can't imagine being in that type of mindset where I would think that would be okay, I guess, or want to go ahead and do that.
I mean, you're in a place where all your troubles are supposed to be just thrown away, right? Like
Right.
I can understand being upset in a certain situation, but you would think there, like, all that stuff's gotta fade away, man. Like, look around, remember where you're at, man. Like, you're in Disney World, bro. There's so many other worse places to be. Like, I can't see being that upset that I'd want to hit a cast member or anyone, and that's that.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
You can't be a Disney fan if you're. I always to say, like, if you're going to Disney, I'm not fighting anybody because I'm not getting I'm not having the chance of being kicked out for life, right? So I will be a punk in Disney World. I will, because I don't want to lose the ability to go anymore. So I will never fight in Disney World. But so it's got to be people that don't really care. That's there, like, and they don't really. It's not a big thing for them.
You see what Patty's putting here?
That's a good one.
You would understand the urge of wanting to put your hands on a guest if you ever go to Disney with Gene. This is your brother. Really?
Well, yeah, maybe.
Is that something that's happened that we don't know about, Gene? Is that what's going on?
No, it never happened. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
It never
Listen,
happened.
I've been to Disney with you plenty of times. I haven't seen that, but I don't know if I could believe it.
No, I'm peaceful as hell in Disney, man. I'm in Disney. Why would I even be upset remotely? Like, I might get into an argument with someone I'm with or something, or you might be like cranky with it, but I would never do anything to jeopardize my ability to go to Disney. Like, I used to have jet season tickets, and I used to always tell people if I let them use my tickets, I don't care if someone dumps a beer over your head. You take that beer and you say thank you, because you're not fighting and losing my seats. Same thing. I wouldn't want to get into an argument here where I'm banned for life. No way, no thank you.
Did you renew those tickets, by the way?
I got rid of them. I got rid of them a few years ago.
I'm just wondering, no thoughts of bringing that back, considering the team they're fielding now?
No, because I won't be home enough. I won't be home enough for this during the season. I'll be.
I guess that's true.
I'll be away, but by the time we get into the meat of that season, and to get it for 1 year isn't really that big. Why have them for 1 year? You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
But
I mean, I could see that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and again, we've seen tons and tons of people these scraps in front of the castle. We just saw one a couple weeks ago. People were fighting in front of the big entrance at Magic Kingdom because one family was mad that the other one was in their picture. Like, just just ridiculousness. We've seen others where they think they cut in lines and all this other nonsense that we see. I mean, I remember one time and I got hey, moving me and Nick, how you doing, bud?
Hey, Nick, go Jets.
Yeah. So we had one where we were standing outside of, and I'll make this quick. It was in front of the Winnie the Pooh ride, right? Sammy, I think we were getting ready to get in line. Yeah. And we were like outside the queue because the line was a little bit longer than the queue itself. And at the time, I think Aiden was like 3, I think. He had picked up a piece of mulch because they had stuff on the ground. And he was, I didn't even notice, but he had reached out, he picked it up, he tossed it up in the air. Well, it landed near a mom and her kids, like older kids, like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. It didn't hit anybody, but it landed near her. This lady, I'm sitting there doing something, and all of a sudden I hear this lady yelling. So I turn around. I have no idea it has anything to do with Aiden or anything. She's yelling this and that. I'm like, what the hell's that lady screaming about? She's a nut. And then I see Sammy run over and kind of grab Aiden. So then I'm like, what the hell's going on? So the lady comes running over and she's like, he almost hit us or something like that. And Sammy's like, he's 3 and it wasn't on purpose. And she's like, I beg to differ. So, yeah, he definitely at 3 years old had the audacity. Yeah, he was
Aiden is cold-blooded, man.
Yeah,
dude, let me tell you. So I was like, so this lady's flipping out, and she continued. So Sammy's like, ma'am, calm down. He's 3 years old. He's just he doesn't even realize what he's doing. And on top of that, he didn't even hit anybody. So she was going on and on. So of course, at that point, I'm coming from where I was because I wasn't quite in the line with them yet. So I started making my way over, and I'm like, what the hell are you yelling about? She's like that. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you right now, the only thing that's saving you right now is that you're a woman. So I said, you might want to find your husband because he's going to have to take the beating for you because somebody going to have to pay. So apparently she's like, and she just started ranting and walked off. But it just goes to show you that people are just, they get ridiculous sometimes. I see it sometimes. Yeah, they get real testy with stuff. And I'm like, I get it. Like, they're mad because one person gets in front of them to get on the tram. to go to the parking lot. Like, it's just, I get it. Everybody's hot, and especially during the summer and stuff, it makes it worse because everybody's just dying to either not get rained on, get out of the heat. I get it. But you gotta, you're going there. It's going to be crowded. No matter, even when you say the parks are empty, they're never empty. It's going to be crowded. You have to understand, like, you're going to deal with people. Sometimes they're going to get in your path. They're going to cut in front of you. And I'm going to joke about this. Maybe I'll rant about this later. People walk like they drive. The random phantom breakers that just break in front of you out of nowhere, or they'll just cut across the lane in front of you out of nowhere from the turn lane. Like, they do all kinds of nonsense, or they just stop there in the middle. you ever had that giant family? Everybody's walking in a pack, and all of a sudden they just decide to stop in the middle. Everybody goes around. Yeah, it's hilarious. Anyway, all right. We'll get to what's the next one here we got. Let me get over to this. Oh, so this one here is a little bit. Apparently, this was an older story because I was reading, but they just posted about this. This is from Inside the Magic. I guess a former cast member, and this is why they tell you keep your fingers and hands and arms and legs and everything inside the boat or the ride. And I guess he must have. This was an old veteran. I guess he had gotten off and told him, "Hey, I lost some fingers inside the ride." I guess he had put his hands outside the boat, and the boat probably. So
he waited till he got off the ride to finally say, "Hey,
yeah.
At least he's polite.
Yeah, can you imagine? He's sitting there.
You'd be like,
he's polite about
it. Oh, geez, look, it's my face red.
Like, hey, you guys got a lost and found, and
right.
Just so you know, because I lost my fingers. Can you guys please go back and get them? Or if not,
which digits it was?
If you could send them, I didn't even know. I was looking. But apparently this happened like in 2014 because I didn't realize it was that far long ago. But it's funny when you hear this kind of stuff because remember, this is stuff that you're hearing from former cast members and stuff starts coming out because the parks again they keep this stuff well under wraps, which it should be. I don't think this is. This is, and he even said he took responsibility. Obviously it's his fault. So it wasn't like he was like, Disney, you shouldn't. So I'm just like, man, I haven't heard anyone losing their fingers, but I'm sure it's happened in certain things that we just don't hear about.
Yeah.
I lost a hat once.
I can't imagine though, like during the ride when it actually happened, he just like waited till the end of the ride, like he was quiet about it, or just like
that's weird. It was
it had to have hurt.
Maybe it wasn't the first time.
I was joking about people they walk like they drive. And like, yeah, I guess if you speed walk. Listen, I'd rather you listen.
Walk rage too.
Well, see,
listen, I'm cranky 95% of the day, man. So if I can handle myself in Disney, anybody can. That's how I look at it.
There you go. The key word for Gene though is that he said I can get a walk rage too, which means he gets rage from other things in the park.
Many things.
So like if his hot pretzel's not ready to go.
Food rage is a real thing. Food rage.
The food rage. Yeah. Listen, if you combine thirsty, hungry, and hot.
If I get a pretzel and you don't have mustard, you only have that plastic cheese, that's a problem. I'm not using that plastic cheese. I need mustard. Just saying. Things like that are like no, that just can't happen.
Listen, let me tell you something. There's the giant pretzel that they sell in front of Sotuli's Cantina. Where the mech is. It's more like an alcohol little bar thing. But they sell the giant pretzel there, which it's absolutely massive. The cheese they give you there, it's almost got like a pepper in it. Man, it's super good. It's not like the standard
white cheese, right?
No, it was yellow.
Oh, okay.
Man, super good. It's not like the standard Velveeta stuff that you get.
Okay, yeah, that's different.
Yeah, I was like, man, I was kind of surprised. It just reminded me of that when you said that. So
I want a pretzel right now, actually.
Yeah, of course. We're thinking of food right now. All right, so moving on to the next one here. We got okay, so this is trippy, as Warlock Larry put it before the show. We were talking about this. So here's the funny part. So these guests decided they wanted to spread their relatives' ashes inside the Haunted Mansion. Okay. Now the funny part about this is they wanted to wait until they got to the ballroom scene. Now, anybody that knows how Pepper's Ghost works, or anyone that's ridden Haunted Mansion at any point has noticed that in front of the ballroom, there's a glass there. So these morons decided to toss the ashes. And of course, what does it do? It bounces off the glass and comes back on top of them. So they literally came back out covered in their loved one's ashes.
Ugh.
I mean, just first of all, yeah. First of all, it's just disgusting.
Yeah.
Anybody that's seen what the heck is that movie? The one with Adam Sandler where they're out on the lake.
Oh yeah, when he puts his hands in the bucket of chicken.
Coach hands. He's like, I don't really care. I'm hungry, but it's disgusting. But yeah, dude, these people
Grown-ups,
actually
right? Grown-ups.
Grown-ups. There you go. Jesus, and I love that movie. The first one. The rest were terrible. Yeah, it's crazy because if you're like, what? Did you really think you were gonna go into the Haunted Mansion? Let's say there's no glass there, and you were just gonna dump this huge thing of ash.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was gonna stay there forever. No one was gonna notice. Ash is going everywhere, and you have a big pile of it on the rug, but no one's gonna notice.
Yeah.
Like,
Well thought out.
Like, what are you thinking, man? So obviously, the irony here and the karma, which is hilarious, is to not realize there's glass there, and it bounces off and covers yourself in it anyway. So you come out looking like soot,
Yeah.
which is absolutely. I just. It's hilarious.
This reminds me of that. Speaking of movies, that Big Lebowski. You guys remember that movie?
I remember that movie, but what scene are we talking about?
So when Donnie, with their bowling buddy, when he passes away, right, and they go to spread his ashes like on the coast, and they go to throw it out, and they're at the coast, right? So it's windy, and it just all blows back in their face. They're just all just covered with it. The dude and
the dude.
Yeah, that's
one of the best characters in cinema. The dude.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The dude, that's actually pretty funny. Yeah, I just again, you would think for something like this, if you really wanted to stay, you would not do it like that, where it would literally be in the middle of the ride. Don't you think you would want to kind of do it off in like the side somewhere nobody might not notice, or I don't know, or maybe in one of the moats or something like, I don't know. I just, it doesn't make sense of what they were trying to do. So not legitimately anyway. It's
they didn't think that one through.
Nope.
All right. Oh, so this one here and this one here, it was pretty crazy. So let me see if I can play this.
Can we get off?
Man, you got 30 seconds, or I'm coming back there and I'm taking you down.
Ma'am, if you don't get 30 seconds.
What was her reason to get out of the boat? Does it say?
So my understanding is she was just drunk, and I guess you know how sometimes it gets backed up, especially on the boat rides, and they're like,
oh, she was ready to go.
Seated. Yeah, and I guess she decided, well, I'm just gonna get out here and then not really know where to go.
If the guy that just lost 4 fingers can wait, she can wait too.
That's what I'm saying, right? I mean, come on.
I don't understand. This is like a weekly thing of people now getting out of these rides and stuff, getting on inebriated. I thought it was funny. The guy's like, you got 30 seconds. And I'm like, well, why are you waiting 30 seconds?
Was that a cast member that said that? Or was that somebody
so.
Somebody on the ride?
It sounded to me like it was somebody that was in the boat or one of the boats.
Gotcha.
So I thought that was funny.
Did it come from behind the camera?
It came from behind the camera. Yeah, so they were.
So it could have been in a security or.
Yeah.
Maybe, but ma'am, you got 30 seconds or I'm coming back. I don't know. Maybe. The thing is, and just so everyone knows, this was on the Tres Caballeros. Mm-hmm. This is on, Grand Fiesta Tour. Yeah. So, and I guess you couldn't tell where it was, but there's a section there where you can get off and walk around and stuff. What was funny is that you got a space like this big on the platform. She literally was just walking back and forth. Like what were you going to do? I think I saw there was an extended one where she crossed over the boat to try to go to the other side. I don't know. Right. It's ridiculous that we keep seeing this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Now these are
people that I don't think are real Disney fans, because you wouldn't risk your
no,
past.
Of course not.
Yeah,
of course not. So now this one here, it's funny because this one here we'll watch it first, but it's very short and it's hard to see.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard about this.
We'll try it again.
I don't see anything.
Now it's
Yeah.
too hard. It's too hard to see because the video's small, whatever. But apparently somebody dropped something off the Tron ride, which is why I guess they didn't decide to put something in the locker, or they could have. Now listen, I've ridden it several times now. Most of my stuff I usually put in the lockers. However, like my cell phone, and I wear cargo shorts all the time because it's easier to carry stuff. I'll usually put it in there and then make sure that the Velcro strap is covered, because on that thing, the cell phone could just slide out. Now, I don't know what it was. It was hard to see in this video. If anybody's seen it, if you see it full screen, you could see something, but it's hard to see it. Yeah, so something came out. Now, I know that there was something going on with Velocicoaster where they do the same thing where you got to put your stuff in your lockers. I know a lot of the rides at
They
Universal.
have metal detectors too. They have
Yeah.
metal detectors.
They have-
at Universal.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And
That might be
I
what they
mean,
need to do with Disney at this point.
and it's dangerous because they kind of need to, because these things are going over people, and even like Velocicoaster does the same thing, so they kind of need to. And I remember at one point, and we're not talking about this here, but I think it was a group of teenagers, I guess, got kicked out in Universal while people were riding the Velocicoaster. They're throwing ice at them, which is so dangerous, man. I mean, just
Jeez.
you catch someone in the eye, I mean, Jesus, man. Especially this thing's doing 70 miles an hour. Like
Yeah.
people are just idiots that don't think of this stuff. Now, this year is a little different. Obviously, it probably wasn't on purpose or anything, but you got to realize you can't be having stuff like that. Like, you don't even realize it. AirPods could fall out of your pocket. Your cell phone, obviously, which is probably going to be the most likely. I don't know.
It was.
Yeah, and it's hard to see it. It is. It's hard to see what's happening there because of what's going on there. But that's pretty much what happened. It's funny. I mean, this is what the lockers are for. I mean, you don't even have to. Oh, and I think doesn't the Tron? And I don't remember because I haven't used it. I think the Tron's the bike's got a pouch on the front.
It's got that
Yeah.
thing that but I don't even trust it. It just like snaps shut. It doesn't like lock in. I wouldn't even keep my stuff in there.
Right. It makes you scared to do that.
Yeah,
Because you're like, I'm not putting.
I would just put it in the locker. You can't wait 10 minutes to see your phone.
Dude, I absolutely. I know it's like kind of like, come on, man, really? But yeah, it's dangerous, especially people being below and that thing comes out. Forget that you lose your item or it gets
Well,
cracked.
that's what
or
I'm worried
whatever.
about. I don't want to lose my phone.
I get it. He's like, don't worry about the dude that just took it to the temple. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
They've been
listen,
standing there.
if you chuck an iPhone or you chuck any of these smartphones, you shouldn't be standing there.
Yeah, I know, right? It should have been
Jeans coming out.
there.
Don't stand there. Think about it. Those things are little like deadly missiles, man. Because
Oh, yeah.
the phone's way now, and this thing gets launched out of your pocket doing 50 miles an hour and catches somebody right in the skull. Oh my God,
Right.
you have a huge knot or something like that. Freaking hilarious.
You
man.
know, I'm sure that we're going to start seeing a little bit more strictness about people taking stuff on rides. I mean, it's just going to be inevitable. Stuff, more and more stuff like this is going to happen. Just like where we're saying, this is the reason that policies get made, right?
Yep.
I mean,
Rules.
this is what's going to happen.
It's like they set rules, and the next thing you know, something happens. All of a sudden, you come the next time, and you're like, "Wait, now they want you to do this that you can't do." And you're like, "Well, somebody must have done that."
Yeah.
So, hey,
Well, like I
listen,
said, look at Hulk, Velocicoaster. All those rides have you have to go through the metal detectors. You can't bring.
And you can't take anything. You can't
can't take
bring
anything.
it on if you
Because
you
wanted
can't.
to.
and they put those in because they can't trust people because they won't
Right.
put stuff in there.
Apparently,
Which-
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a bunch of people, not a bunch, but I saw a handful of people walking through the park with selfie sticks with the GoPros. Now I have the GoPro. I have a couple of cameras, but the one GoPro I have is just on the handle that floats in the water, like that type of handle. It's not a
I
telescopic.
thought you weren't allowed to bring selfie sticks anymore. I thought you weren't. They weren't.
You
allowed in the
can't.
park.
That's my whole point. I mean, these dudes are just walking around like this, and I'm like, how did they get this in the park? Because usually they check for that stuff.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're brazenly doing that. Now, the problem is and we all know there's no harm in using those walking around the park. The harm is because these morons take them on the rides, and this is kind of how that started. But yeah, I was just telling you, Gene, you still see stuff get by because clearly it was happening. So, I don't know. I was just like, dude, that's a selfie stick. Like it was like, and you don't really see them. So I was like, wow. And I saw it from a few people. So
I see a lot of
they're-
those Insta 360 cameras.
I seen a lot of that. I saw that this weekend. They got them in the backpack.
Yeah.
And they wear them like that.
Mm-hmm,
Those are cool. They're super expensive, but they're pretty neat.
Yep.
I have to try to get one of those, man. Once the price comes down on them,
Yep.
it's really cool to see stuff like that.
It is.
All right, so we gotta pay the bills here a little bit. We'll take a break real quick, and we'll be right back.
Happiness is addictive. Passionate about spreading laughter and creating smiles worldwide. Happiness is addictive. Brings our global community together through humor, optimism, cheer, hopefulness, and merriment. Happiness is addictive. Happiness is addictive.
All right, so apparently either StreamYard's not happy or the video's not happy because I don't know why it was cutting in and out like that.
It didn't cut in and out on me.
No,
At least for you guys it ran good. I don't know. For me, it was getting like a delay. It was like coming in and out. I don't know what. Okay, well,
I saw it fine.
whatever. Listen, as long as it didn't happen to everybody else, then I guess that's fine. But geez, I don't know. It was terrible. Okay, so we got bring this up here. All right, LeFou's news. So we're talking about resorts, all right? And I know Sarah had mentioned that she's it's like her second home. We've all stayed at a lot of different resorts, and it'll be nice to hear Larry's take on this because I haven't stayed at any of the ones out in California. Gene, obviously you stayed at a bunch. And again, we can save the worst one for last if you want. I know which one that is already. You don't have to even talk about that.
The Polynesian sucks.
Yeah. By the way, we did end up getting lucky and getting a reservation over at Ohana this weekend because the dinner to me is the best part of it by far.
Oh,
Yeah, I
sure.
like the end of the better too.
Mm-hmm.
But we did duck down to Trader Sam's, which is outstanding. The drinks and stuff are just
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
crazy good.
it's the experience
so-
itself.
Right. So look, you got different ratings for the resorts, right? So you got your values, your all stars. You know, you got your deluxe, which is your Animal Kingdoms and stuff, and then you got your what are the top tiers? I forgot which ones those are.
The top ones, it's the deluxe.
Sure.
Yeah, but there's got to be an in between. There's
no deluxe is the top tier.
no, it is, but I'm saying I know there's like 3 tiers.
Oh, moderate. Yeah,
Moderate,
value,
that's what-
moderate, deluxe.
That's what it was. The moderates is like the
Middle.
art of animation. That type
No,
of
that's
stuff.
considered a value.
Oh, that's right. That's
Art
the
of
whole
animation
thing.
is
Or,
It is.
It's
And
got
that's-
moderate pricing, and it's got
Right,
like
and
that's considered a value.
Okay,
It's high,
that's
it's
one of
a
my-
value.
Yeah, that's going to be one of my issues there. Yeah, so you got, we've stayed at all 3 of them. I'm not a big, and I know Mike did a whole series on the All Stars. I like the theming, but there's something bland about them. I don't know what it is. They're convenient because you can kind of stay on property, but they're still pretty expensive for staying on property for what you're getting because the rooms are pretty standard. I know they've upgraded a bunch of them recently. We stayed at, Pop Century most recently. We've done movies, we did sports, and they got some cool set pieces, but it is a bit dated. At least, excuse me.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting. And one of my things here, and I'll talk about this, one of the downsides, like exactly what Gene just mentioned. If you look at Art of Animation, it is priced as a moderate. And sometimes, depending on the time of year, man, it really can skyrocket. And I don't understand what it is with Art of Animation. I guess it's the popularity of it because it doesn't seem to, and it doesn't seem to pass over to any of the other ones, especially the All-Stars. Now, I will say Art of Animation does have certain sections have the suites. Now, the suites, I could see commanding more money because you can fit more people. It's got like a living room type of thing, got a full bedroom. So I can kind of see that. And also where they place them, because as you guys know, like Old Key West, Coronado Springs, and some of these others, Caribbean Beach, and even where we just stayed, Riverside, which was super nice, Port Orleans, Riverside. These are those sprawling type of resorts where it's not just you get out of your room and walk to the lobby. That's not well, you could do it, but you might want to start jogging. So it's almost one of those ones you got to get in your car and drive over to it. So they charge more for so let's say the Nemo section in Art of Animation, if you're closer to the central hub, which is the main pool, the Skyliner, and the the food court. So they're going to charge you more for that. Plus those are the ones that have the suites, those, and I think the cars one. So my thing is it shouldn't be, at least it sounds stupid to say this, but they shouldn't be able to call something a value resort if they're charging you moderate prices. At that point, just put it in the moderate resorts, because honestly, Art of Animation is and anyone that stayed at them is definitely a step above the All Stars, and anyone that stayed at them, or Pop Century, or any of those, it's a step up. It's funny because even though you can walk over, over the bridge where the Skyliner is, and it cross over from Pop Century into Art of Animation, it's like everything changes when you get over there. Everything's painted new, and like it's just a different type of experience. The the food court and all that stuff, and the way it's set up, it's just in a better way. So, and I know recently they got rid of the parking fee and all that crap, which is kind of was a real sore point for me for a while. Not because they want to charge an extra $20 a day. My whole thing was always, hey, stick it in the overall pricing. Just don't tell me that you're using it for that, and then call it a day. Don't tell me you're giving me a fee to park at your owned resort, which is nonsense to me. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I agree with what you're saying with Art of Animation. My thing is this: I'm curious if it's just the popularity of it is what's kept it high, because there are a lot of things that are a major draw to it. The theming is really excellent. It really is. It's got easy access right to the Skyliner. So there's a lot of good things there that for it to be considered a moderate. And my only thing is, I wonder if the pricing, like look at it this way: you're gonna get you're gonna charge what you can get for it. If you can still get those prices, and it's always gonna be full, you're gonna charge for it. You could charge more if you could, right? So I don't blame them for that. But you're right; like it's not a value resort. It's definitely a step up price wise and accommodation wise. It's a step up above a regular value resort. Now. And so my thing is this: is it that much higher than Pop Century? Pop Century is also on the Skyliner as well, and it is. You could it's just a little outdated compared to Art of Animation. And again, you got the films that the kids all know, because they're the films that they grew up watching. So there is a difference.
Yeah. So I've actually haven't stayed at Art of Animation, because we've looked at it. We've stayed at Pop Century, and we've stayed at some of the All Stars, and we've stayed at Coronado and the Caribbean Beach. But right there, like you were saying, like that moderate price tag that Art of Animation has, I feel like I would rather stay at Caribbean Beach than Art of Animation, even though Art of Animation looks really nice. But for that price point, I think I would just go towards Caribbean Beach, because I really enjoy Caribbean Beach. I don't know why. I really like it. It's right on the Skyliner, I like the vibe there. It's cool. Like it. But I don't know.
Well,
if it's on location,
Riviera if you want.
Yeah, Riviera's right there, and I love that place. Topolino's Terrace up top, right?
Oh man,
yep.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's food. Just location. Just like with anything, and like Gene said, they're gonna charge as much as people are willing to pay. So as long as people are willing to keep paying those prices for Art of Animation, it's gonna keep going.
I agree, and it's funny because, and Gene, it definitely has to be the popularity of it. Not only is it the theming and the different style pools and stuff like that. And obviously it's very colorful with the art and all that stuff. It's become, the wet pads. It's a more popular type of resort. So yeah, I mean, if they're going to get those prices, they're going to, because I've seen them. I see the rooms fluctuate from $250 a night all the way up to, you see them getting into the 380s, which is, and you're pushing even moderates type stuff. Like you're getting into the regular realm there. Dude, Animal Kingdom Lodge, there was times where we were spending $380 a night there at Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is way above Art of Animation. So you're just like, holy, but yeah, if people are going to pay for it, they could, and it's, the thing is, it's the ones that have the Skyliner attached to it. I don't know if, like I said, it's definitely a draw, because obviously they wanted to put, and I know they're going to be expanding on this eventually, but I know they wanted to put it when some at value, moderate, like Caribbean Beach, which I agree with you, Larry. I love Caribbean Beach. We're going to be staying there pretty soon, going up. And the last time we were there, they were running, they had a whole bunch of construction going on. It didn't look like it does now. It was like, it was a mess. There were certain sections where the beds and everything they had dumped into a parking lot. It was fenced off. But you could see, they were just gutting everything. So You know, at
Crazy.
the time, the tower that is now in front there, the main building tower, didn't even
Mhm.
exist at the time. So it would be nice to go back there and stuff because back then the food court was a giant tent, massive tent.
Oh, I
that you could
remember
go-
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Disney does a good job with that stuff, but it was just not. It was not a a premium experience. Now, not
Yeah.
something like you're going to get at say Contemporary or Grand Floridian and stuff, but it's just one of those things. Now, let me ask you this. Now, what are the big ones out in Disneyland, California, and what are they running?
Well, the ones, well, obviously Disneyland Hotel
Obviously,
is
that
right
one.
there. And then the Grand Californian is obviously really close to kind of right similar with that. It might even be a little bit more, to be honest, than the Disney Hotel. I'm not sure what they're running like far as rates goes right now. They're when we usually go to Disneyland, we usually stay at a Good Neighbor Hotel, which is basically somewhere down Harbor, like right
Sure.
across the street. We have stayed at the Disney Hotel. We stayed at Paradise Pier, or it's going to be Pixar. That's the one they're
Pixar
renamed
Pier?
it for the Pixar Hotel right now. So we've
Yeah.
stayed there. And those were pretty reasonable. I mean, even we stayed at Pixar or the Paradise Pier while it's under construction, and it was still it was cheaper, but it was still pretty spendy. But
So, what does something go for out there? Like just at like ballpark?
I would have to, you know what?
Do you remember?
I don't remember. I wouldn't even, I would hate to guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing, and I'm wondering about this because obviously, and again, forgive me guys, I've not been out to Disneyland yet. We will be going out there. I have been out to Cali, but I haven't been to that area. So, my question is, we've got here in World. Hey, Sean. World
Hey,
has.
Sean Urban, what up, man?
I forgot what was it, 32 or 42 resorts? I forgot what it was. Do they have? I mean, I'm assuming they don't have that kind of Disney resorts out in Cali, no? Because it's just kind of.
No, they really don't have very many. It's basically like I said, Disneyland Hotel, the Paradise Pier or Pixar Hotel, and the Grand Californian. That's really all that's really right there, like super close. Everything else is like across the street and like the Good Neighbor hotels.
Okay.
Mm.
And yeah, so there everything's so close. You don't need stuff like Skyliner and all that other stuff. 'cause
No,
everything-
It's definitely
Right.
walking. That's like minutes. So literally, like if you're staying at the Disneyland Hotel, you're like 5 minutes from like getting in the park. Well, maybe a little. Well, you got to go through security, all that kind of stuff. But you get downtown Disney, you go through security, walk through downtown Disney, and then you walk through, and you're kind of right in the middle there between Disneyland and California Adventure. It's like 10 minutes total, probably.
Okay. Now, Gene, you're now obviously Boardwalk. Boardwalk is a deluxe, correct?
Boardwalk is deluxe, right over there in the Epcot area. Yeah, that's typically
those-
where we stay more than not. We usually stay there. We try to like move around a little bit. We try to do like half trips where we'll stay half there and then try something a little different. But that's usually where we stay.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this: is there any pet peeves you have when it comes to that? I know it's your greatest resort and all that other stuff, but is there anything there that bothers you that they wish they did? Or
I wish they had the clown pool again. They took the clown out of the pool, the creepy clown pool. But other than that, I can honestly say I never have I have no gripes about that place at all. I could walk to Epcot one way. I walk the other way. I could walk to Hollywood Studios. Transportation. If you take the buses, their buses come pretty frequently. You got the Skyliner right there. You have other resorts. If you want to resort hop, you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like you have a ton of resorts that you can go resort hop to without getting in your car. It's to me, it's the ultimate stay right there is Boardwalk.
no, wait,
Don't
don't they have a water transportation with Boardwalk? Or
They,
no?
they have a boat. You can take the boat to go to Epcot. You can take the boat to go to Hollywood Studios. But to me, it's just easier to. You're invited, Sean. Let's do it.
Yeah, Sean, just make sure you get a good mask. We'll get you in there, or just do face painting.
No Patriot swimming trunks though. I got jet ones you can borrow.
That would definitely be a clown.
But they have the boat. But I always like to walk it. It's not a bad walk. I'd rather walk it than have to wait for the boat. But it's still like right there. But you do have the boats. I just never use them.
Yeah. Now I will say this, and it is true. You do get what you pay for when it comes to the convenience, and usually the service that you get when it comes to these, even the deluxe ones, like when we stayed at Contemporary, which is very expensive. I cannot overstate anyone that has not the convenience of being exhausted at the parks, whether you're coming from Epcot or you're coming from especially Magic Kingdom, and you literally just get on, which is a separate rail, and it literally takes you to your resort, and you just get off and go in your room. Like you don't have to deal with the tram, the park. You don't have to deal with any of that stuff. So it's funny, after doing that, you're like, man, now I can see why. Not that why it's this expensive, because the resort's super nice. I mean, the way it's just pristine, but, and that's, I know that was like the original one they put in, but when you see that, you're like, man, it's almost worth the price alone just because of this. You know, getting your bags checked or going through any type of security before you even get on. Are you kidding me?
Whoa.
What is
Mike.
that guy doing?
Who is this guy?
What is that look
Guys,
for?
I gotta go.
This is canceled. Fantastic.
Oh, well, look, Mike, it looks like it's
pouring
raining.
tonight, and it is raining.
Damn. That's
Well, that's a bummer. How long were you waiting?
All right.